Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back to the channel. This is Daily Race B for the week commencing Monday the 25th of July 2022. This race this week is a Group 4 race at the St. Croix circuit, I believe that's how you pronounce it. I may be way off, I probably butchered that, so I am really sorry. However, yep, like I said, Group 4 cars are back in more of a, I guess, straight up sprint format. You're here for 3 laps. It's around about, I'd say, 7 minutes to 8 minutes for the race. And yeah, I had an absolute disaster of a race here. So first up, going into the first corner, we've got good old Panda. And I don't get what that move was all about there. I think he just lost a bit of car control. I've sort of made a little bit of avoiding action. And sadly, straight away, I'm there with a half a second penalty. So for me at this point, I was kind of assuming how this race was going to pan out. I'm thinking, right, I just need to sort of stay on the back of him, make a nice clean move, and get past this guy as soon as possible if I'm to make up any ground during this race. One thing I did notice as you go into this right left-hander, just as you're about to take the quite, I guess, bit sharper right onto the bridge, a lot of people were making mistakes there. I believe it was, you know, a lot of yellow flags, and there was a couple of cars off when I went through there, I believe, second lap. So yeah, a bit of a nightmare place. Personally, I don't like the corner after the bridge. If you absolutely mess your braking marker up, then yeah, you're in a bit of trouble. But we've finally got down the inside of Panda, and we're going to try and make a move up. You can see the car in front of us, Spoghead, has a second penalty. I'm basically at this point just trying to maintain position. I know the guy behind me was actually quite quick, to be fair. And my main thing is just to kind of, I guess, just keep him behind as much as possible, and obviously try and defend my position. I know at this point I'm going to kind of fall back. I already know I've got half a second penalty, so you know, it's just a bit of a, I guess, frustrating opening lap where I felt like I had the potential to, you know, move up the grid. It's all just gone a little bit a little bit wrong. Obviously, you know, getting the half second penalty and then getting caught behind Panda, who, you know, no disrespect here, but didn't seem like the most confident driver, or, you know, some of the sharp movements he was making just seemed to obviously just, you know, catch me out. Obviously, I'm just trying to follow him and get past where I can, but when someone's making erratic movements in front of you, it's a bit of a nightmare scenario. So both myself and Spoghead have taken our penalties, and luckily with me only having half a second, I managed to sort of stick behind him, and on this big long straight we've got, I managed to keep in a bit of a slipstream. We can see the rest of the pack far off in the distance, still quite close together. That'll be the top 7 cars, so quite close racing, to be honest. The pack never really sort of broke away. Well, not massively anyway. So sometimes in some races you'll sort of see the pack get really spread out after one lap. However, this is actually quite close for a sport mode race. A lot of the time you'll just sort of see cars dropping way back, people quitting, people getting taken out, and you know, you'll see the track map and you'll see blue arrows everywhere. So when you come to the 4th lap, you'll basically start even lapping cars sometimes a few towards the front of the grid. As you can see, we've got a yellow flag out here, and I'm sort of waiting for it, trying not to basically overtake under the yellow flags, but we've got a GTR off and a Supra off at this point. So yeah, I'm not too sure what happened there. I can only assume something didn't go quite well in someone else's world as well. So it's going to get quite rough for me at this point. I've kind of got the gap there. And I'm just kind of going to try and run in Spoghead's slipstream down here. I know we've got a long run after this quite awkward long corner. If you don't get it right, you'll see a lot of cars will slam into the wall. I think Spoghead's about, yeah, there you go. So yeah, that's what happens if you sort of just run it a bit too much. Obviously this has closed the gap up, so I'm now just going to run in that slipstream. I've got a decent run down here. I'm not necessarily going to go for the overtake, but at this corner up here, I am going to try and like late brake and kind of go around the outside. Obviously, he's basically committed to the inside line, but then comes over, makes a little move to kind of block me off, but instead just basically piles me into the wall. So, yeah, at this point, I'm just frustrated. I'm fed up. Obviously, you know, it's such a wide circuit as well, so there's plenty of like moments to make overtakes and kind of run side by side. To kind of move over last minute like that is a bit frustrating. I did kind of go back and look at the replay angles, and you can sort of see his steering move to the left on the replay, but I don't know if he did it intentionally, because obviously if you're running things like bonnet cam and such, it's quite if you haven't got the radar on, you can sometimes not realise there's a car there. But it did seem like a bit of a silly move. I mean, if I was him, I'd have just committed to the inside and then tried to get the position back if I did manage to sort of get a cut back or something on him. He could have really quite easily defended that without having to kind of come across. So yeah, coming on to the final lap, and at this point I'm just really frustrated. I'm not happy, I'm not having a good time. I feel like every sort of moment in this race I've had to kind of move up, I've sort of just stagnated or ran into issues. And yeah, I feel like that half a second penalty was really sort of a bit of foreshadowing really for the rest of the race. So yeah, just a bit frustrated, just a teeny little bit. But yeah, going on to the last lap, we're coming back to the awkward bridge section, and I'm sort of running behind that Supra which crashed off at the bridge on the second lap. He's not going to make that mistake at this point, no he isn't. And then obviously we've got the Jerome Ruiz, I want to say that's how you pronounce it. He was obviously running behind me on the first couple of laps, I believe, keeping right with me. He's ran off the track at this point, so I'm picking the obviously give way sign as my braking point. We're going to get through there quite nicely. Ran a little bit too deep, and now I can see there's a bunch of cars side by side, and I'm pretty much thinking there's going to be an accident here. And then a sort of lapse in concentration, and I'm just going to run wide and slap the barrier, make the same mistake as everyone out. But yeah, I mean, I think with this lap I was just completely fed up. I'd had enough. Obviously just a bit, a little bit frustrated, like I said, to the point where my concentration's gone. My confidence in doing anything in the rest of this race is kind of out the window. Obviously I'm not pushing too hard. I'm sort of at this point where if someone wants to go past me, they can just go past me. I'm not really going to defend it at this point. So yeah, sadly, race B, a little bit frustrating. But I mean, overall, I think this race has actually got some potential. I've never ever been the biggest fan of this track. In fact, I've always pretty much, it's been in the bottom tier of track lists for me when it comes to Gran Turismo. But I actually really enjoyed my time with it, and I think I will go back over the week and kind of maybe just see what I can really do in a couple of different cars, and hopefully have I guess a bit more of a clean race next time. So we're going to come across the line in P10, sadly. Again, frustrating race, but it is what it is. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe.